I read 187 books in 2025 and this is the top 10, the absolute creme de la creme. That is 65,834 pages. To give you an idea of the scale, if you stack these books up, you'll probably get a tower that's higher than a 50-story building. I spent the entire year climbing that mountain of paper, and finally here are the gems for you to pick the best of the best. My average rating for the year was 3.5, so if a book has made it into this list, it has survived a bloodbath. So let's begin. On number 10 we have Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. Look, we have all been hurt before. We have a collective PTSD after watching the season finale of Game of Thrones and Stranger Things. But Clockwork Princess, trust me, this is the perfect therapy to get rid of your trust issues of series finale. This book sticks the landing, the ending perfectly. This is the finale of the Infernal Devices trilogy, and we are in Victorian London, and our main character Tessa, she is stuck in a literal war against mechanical devices, but she has an even a messier choice to make between two guys, Will and Jem. Look, I'm usually over love triangles, but this is by far hands down one of the best love triangles I have read. Over here, the two guys, Will and Jem, they have like such a strong bromance that they would burn the earth to the ground before they let anything happen to each other. And if you're tired of reading about heroines who sit like a potato and just like let things happen to them, you will love Tessa because she's smart, she's reliable, and she actually kind of makes big moves that influences the decision making of this whole book. It's so rare to find a series where even the side characters make such a big impact, and then every chapter, especially in this final book, like it feels earned, it feels like the ending, I would just say it was just perfect, no words. And the award it gets is, I ship the two guys more than the girl at the guy award. Next up at number 9, we have a highly binge-worthy disaster class in terrible decision making. Yes, Yellow Face by R.F. Kuang. The plot of this book is completely unhinged. We follow June, who is a struggling writer, and she sees her famous writer friend kind of die in front of her own eyes. And what does she immediately do? Call the police, call the ambulance? No. She steals her unfinished manuscript, edits it, and passes it off as her own. Because yeah, priorities, right? This book is a biting satire on the publishing industry and cultural appropriation. But at its core, I think it's just a very fast-paced thriller where you kind of make yourself believe that you deserve success no matter what the cost. It's sharp, it's mean, and watching June dig deeper and deeper and going deeper and deeper into her web of lies that she has created is such a stress-inducing nightmare, and I loved every second of it. And the award it gets is the Lion, the Witch, and the Audacity of the Witch Award. At number 8, we have a very tiny book that starts out totally ordinary but slowly turns into something that you won't be able to put down. Yes, it's Khachar Ghochar by Vivek Shanbhag. This book is just under 150 pages and it follows an Indian joint family who come into new money. This is quote in this book which really struck with me. It says like, it's not we who control the money, but it's the money that controls us. When this money grows, it keeps getting brash and you can see how the money kind of starts rotting the family's morals. It's a brilliant take on patriarchy and often the unsaid rules, which a family often follows and kind of, is the basis of a core decision making of how a family runs. Everything in this book kind of builds up to this final chapter, which is a dinner scene, and it's very ordinary, right? A dinner scene itself, but it was so tense that I kept my fist, my fist kept clenching and unclenching throughout. This is the ultimate example of a book where you have to read between the lines, because over here Shanbhag, he's not going to spoon feed you. Like, there's absolutely zero filler in this book. Every word, every sentence, every line in this book has a reason to be there. I'm telling you, this is one of the shortest psychological thrillers I have read, which has completely captured my heart. And the award it gets is More Money, More Trauma Award. At number 7, we have one of the most uniquely written high-stake fantasies I have ever read. Yes, I'm talking about The Sword of Kaigen by Emil Wong. This book is a beautiful mess. Yes, I say the word mess because it kind of feels like reading a brilliant first draft. Like, it's so raw, it's so unpredictable. Like, don't even be surprised if, a major character just dies halfway through the book. The story follows a community of elite elemental warriors who have been brainwashed by their government for generations, and what exactly happens when these rigid beliefs are challenged by the outside world. This book also features one of the strongest female characters I have read this year, Misaki. She's just an ordinary housewife on the surface level, but she's just this fierce warrior who would stop at nothing to protect her family. And she is the perfect example of a silent but deadly weapon. Watching her go absolutely unhinged to protect her family, it was so incredible to read. If you want a high stakes fantasy which does not follow a standard set of rules, I'm telling you, go pick this one. It's raw, it's unpredictable, and it's so beautiful just because you don't know what's going to literally happen next. And the award it gets is the Real Housewives of the Apocalypse Award. At number 6, we have a werewolf story, which isn't just a normal werewolf story. I'm talking about When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy. This book completely caught me off guard because just when I realized oh yeah, I've got the hang of the horror of this book, the ground completely shifts and everything just goes sideways. The story starts with a struggling actress finds a kid hidden in the bush, and just before they can catch any breath, the father of this kid shows up and everything turns into a violent, gory, bloody mess. They end up on the run, but it's just not a standard chase. There is a trail of butchery that follows them everywhere where they go. I think this book is a perfect rare balance for horror fans because you get the psychological mind game aspect of it, and also there's this slasher thriller energy that goes hand in hand with this. And I love the ending of this book so much. If you are looking for a horror that kind of breaks the rules of its genres and tries to do something new, go pick this one up. And the award it gets is Daddy Issues Make the Best Lore Award. Before we crack on into the top 5, I need to talk about a few books that almost made the cut. These are my honorable mentions, and I need to absolutely talk about these books as well. First up is Strength of the Few by James Islington. Hands down, this is one of the best sequels that I have read this year. I love this book so much. I feel like this is such an ambitious undertaking by the author. I am dumbfounded. This is part 2 of the Hierarchy series, which comes after Will of the Many. And to be absolutely be candid with you, I think I understood just 70% of the book, but that was just great. I felt like this was a great effort. I didn't enjoy it as much as the first part. That's why it's in the honorable mentions. But I am so excited for the series and I can't wait for part 3. Next up, I have to mention 2 bangers of mangas that I have been reading this year, and they live in extreme. One of them is Spy Family, which is a pure, wholesome, joyous, fuzzy chaos. I have Anya with me. Isn't she so cute? So cute. And on the other hand, I have to also mention Alice in Borderland, which is these high-stakes survival games. It's also a Netflix series, but I'm telling you, both of these mangas, the panel is great, the story is great, they are so binge-worthy. Please go pick them up. Next, I have to mention Strange Pictures by Oketsu. This is one of the most weirdest, unique thrillers I have read this year. This book essentially is a collection of pictures that at first glance look very ordinary, but when you start looking into them in more details, there's this unsettling intrigue that surrounds them and you feel oh my god, something is very wrong with them. And these pictures are kind of connected by a broader story, and which kind of forms the premise of a totally unputdownable, bingeable thriller. Next is Madonna in a Fur Coat by Sabhat Ali. This is a short, tragic, and absolutely brilliant classic. It's one of the best writings that I have read in this year. I felt like this author has kind of dug deep into the innermost chamber of his heart to get the feelings out to write this book. I just read it in one sitting. It was that good, just stunning. And finally, I have to mention a dark romance, Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. I'm telling you, it has become one of my favorite dark romances that I've read. This book is heavy, it's intense, and it uses a very dark, twisted backdrop of a story to kind of evolve into this very romantic tale. This is a book that's going to scratch the dark romance itch, which you might be facing, but without being graphic at all. I think it was a total standard. Back to top 5. On number 5, I have a book that I can describe as a beautiful devastation. I'm talking about As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow by Zulfa Khatun. I went into this book wanting a love story, but I had no idea that a love story set against the Syrian backdrop can turn me into a complete wreck. The plot follows Selma, a pharmacy student turned surgeon who desperately wants to get out of the country, and she meets this boy, Kenan, and he's recording all these truths in his video camera, and then they start a love story in the middle of all this chaos. This book is a romance based on stolen moments, and I mean, it kind of poses the question like, will we even be here tomorrow? It's an incredibly sad book, but it's also a very beautiful book. Like, the writing is so beautiful, so melancholic that it's going to tug at your heartstrings continuously. It's one of the first books that I have read that kind of made me feel like what I have felt after reading my all-time favorite book, Thousand Splendid Suns. And I am telling you, like, this is one of the best love stories that I have read in a long time. Go pick this book up and have a massive cry. The award it gets is Making Lemonade Out of My Own Tears Award. On number 4, we are heading into the Bunnyverse with the prequel, sequel, standalone book called We Love You Bunny by Mona Awad. If you've been on my channel earlier, you will realize I talk about Bunny so much that it's basically kind of like a personality trait at this point. I can't even reveal or identify or pinpoint why this book exactly works for me. Is it the cult-like dark academia vibes, the sheer weirdness of it, or just Mona Awad's literal magic that works for me so well? There's a strange deep satisfaction in finishing her books that I don't find anywhere else. The setup of this book is wild. Our main character Sam, she is kidnapped while she's on her book tour by her frenemies, aka the bunnies, and we are basically also a captive audience with Sam, and we need to hear their tale as they try to explain what has happened and they tell their own story. To me, this book is a brilliant metaphor for the agony of writing. Amidst all this chaos, there is a point of view of this character called Arius, which I absolutely loved. Like, his chapters were so brilliant, so precious, so experimental. Those chapters are so unique that they capture this feeling of someone gaining consciousness and kind of attaining freedom. I'm telling you, this is a total love it or hate it book. There is no in between. But what can I say? For me, yes, we do love you, Bunny, so much. The award it gets is On Wednesdays, We Summon Demons Award. Coming in at number 3 is the book that actually won the Goodreads Choice Awards for the Best Fiction of 2025. And it's one of the best books that I have read on childhood friendship and art. It's none other than My Friends by Frederick Bachman. I knew I wouldn't be disappointed when I picked this book up because, come on, like, it's Bachman. And like, if you remember, the stories of your childhood friends, the silly, stupid things that you used to do at that time that felt so precious. And now thinking back on it, it just feels so nostalgic. Like, this book is going to hit you hard. There's this innocence that you have with your early friends, and you kind of keep losing it as you grow up. And Bachman captures this feeling beautifully in this book, as the characters of this book kind of go through memories, snapshots as they recall their good old days. The plot is a deeply moving tale of a few teenagers and the friendship and the bond that they have that is so strong that it changes the life of a stranger 25 years later. There are a lot of characters in this book, but they're like woven together so beautifully, so completely fulfill each other and form the parts of the story. Like, this book is emotional, it's nostalgic, and it's Bachman at his best. The award it gets is Paint Me Like One of Your Traumatized Friends Award. Coming in at number 2 is a book that is an absolute treasure. I'm talking about The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. This was actually one of my very first reads of 2025, and thinking back, as soon as I had started reading this book, I knew it's going to make it into one of my favorite books of all time list. You know, you come across a lot of good books, great books along time, but only sometimes you come across masterpieces like this. This book is narrated by death itself. Like, it's so chilling, it's so unique to it, and kind of follows our main character Liesel, who grows up in like World War II Germany. This is another one of the wonderful books that my husband has given it, and even though this book made me cry a lot, I am so happy that I own this book. I can go back to it at any time. So yeah, as I said, like, it's about Liesel. She's growing up with her foster parents, and she's in this like Nazi Germany world, and the way she kind of copes up with everything around her is by stealing books. So she's a thief, but she only steals books. I love the ways those are kind of integrated the love of reading in this backdrop. I'm telling you, like, every single word in this book, it's so well written. Like, you can feel that there has been a lot of thought going behind it. And you're just like surprised at the sheer simplicity of it. I was absolutely devastated by the ending, and yeah, and I'm telling you, if you haven't read this book yet, you are kind of missing out on one of the greatest stories ever told. The award it gets is Grand Theft Auto Library Edition Award. And finally, we are in number 1, and even though I have put its sequel in the honorable mentions list, the one book that skipped past everything and I am forcing everyone in my friend circle to read it, it's Will of the Many by James Lipton. The world building in this book is just elite. Imagine an empire where the currency is will. People at the bottom, they kind of literally see their own life force and the strength and everything to the higher ups. And this will keeps flowing upwards, making like the people at the top end like faster, stronger, and doing things that are beyond humanly possible. It's this magical, massive hierarchy where the strength of the many is kind of used to fuel the lives and the power of the few. In this book, we're following our main character, Viz, who is hiding something, and he's kind of forced into a situation where he has to not only join but ace the most prestigious academy of this republic. And while he's doing this, also solve a murder and a lot of other mysteries. And let's be clear, this isn't just another dark academia book. This is kind of feels like a high-stakes mystery thriller. As Viz tries to climb the ranks and understand this brutal system, you're right there with him, understanding the mysteries of this world. It's complex, but it's so well done that you're never lost. You're kind of craving for the next mystery. The main character Viz, he's such a powerhouse, he's smart, he's relentless, and he never stops grinding. Watching him navigate this dark, unique system is kind of one of the best experiences I have had this year in reading. And the ending, and oh my god, the ending, it's like a total plot explosion that will keep you reeling. Like, you won't be able to hold, to start reading part 2. I'm telling you, if you want to pick one fantasy book this year, if you want to pick like one unique book this year with a great plot, great storytelling, please let it be this one. And the award it gets is Straight Ace or Death Award, along with Best Book of the Year Award. So that was my top 10. Please drop down in comments below which is one book that you will give your standing ovation to this year. And let's be honest, like, in this video we have been positive, almost too positive, and nature demands a balance. So please go check out my roast video of Trash Can Awards of this year, where I list all my worst reading experiences. So click on that, and I'll see you next time. Till then, bye bye, good night, Shubhratri.